deep sea is full of fascinating creatures, each with their own unique look and set of tools to survive. Whether it's the lancetfish or the phantom jellyfish, they are waiting to be discovered. Join us as we look at 20 terrifying sea creatures that actually exist. 20. The Snaggletooth. Astronesthes niger, sometimes known as the Snaggletooth dragonfish, is a thin, somewhat elongated blackfish with a big mouth, fang-like teeth, and a long barbel on its chin topped by a knob. This fish can reach a maximum length of around 6.3 inches and is distinguishable from other closely related species by its snout without a curled-up tip, the barbel being less than 1.7 times the length of the head, and the swollen section on the barbel being 1/3 to 1/2 its length. Dragonfish are crafty predators. Despite their tremendous swimming abilities, they prefer to lie in wait and ambush unwary fish and crustaceans. To avoid detection by prey, most have dark skin that is colored with some of the blackest blacks known to nature. I don't know about you, but this fish gives me the creeps. 19. Magna Squid. Bigfin squids are an uncommon type of mollusk with unusual characteristics. They belong to the Magna genus. The squid's arms and tentacles are both reported to be 13 to 26 feet long. These appendages are held perpendicular to the body, resulting in elbows. The bigfin reef squid feeds on fish and crustaceans, as do its squid and cuttlefish relatives. It captures prey with its 2 tentacles and holds it in its 8 arms while it eats. Bigfin reef squid must take little nibbles due to its small beak aperture. Magna is believed to be the deepest occurring squid genus, with observations as deep as 20,381 feet below the surface, making it the only squid known to live in the Hadal zone. 18. Tongue-eating louse. There are several aquatic species that resemble aliens. You have the hagfish, whose slime is 100,000 times softer than jello. You have the deep-sea lizardfish, a predator with enormous teeth that switches sexes and attacks stealthily. You also have the gulper eel, which transforms from regular-looking eel to nightmare fuel in a matter of seconds. But perhaps no one takes weird and wild as seriously as the tongue-eating louse. The name says it all. This nasty parasite gets around by devouring the tongues of other animals. This is how it works. A juvenile louse will enter through the gills of a fish and wait for another louse to appear. When there are 2 or more, one of them will mature and become a female. The female will crawl out of the gills, up the esophagus, and into the mouth, clamping its muscular legs around the fish's tongue. Each leg has a specifically specialized sharp appendage that permits it to grip tightly. Now the fun begins for the isopod. The female stays put and slashes the blood vessels in the tongue. Without blood flowing to the organ, the tongue will wither and fall off, leaving only the parasite behind. The female will then continue to feed on the fish's blood and mucus, content as a vampiric clam. Once she is established, the remaining male in the gills will mate with the much larger female, who will then expel numerous tiny new parasites from the fish. These new terrors will drift along until they can secure themselves in the gills of another unsuspecting host. Believe it or not, this extremely intrusive behavior does not kill the fish. It's not a nice time for sure, but the fish can use the parasite as a prosthetic organ. They live in a variety of fish, including menhaden, snapper, and other widely fished species. 17. Strange fish. Catfish are recognized for their whiskers, or barbels, which aid in taste and smell. Most catfish are toothless omnivores that can grow to be up to 10 feet long, or can be as small as a toothpick. Catfish live primarily in fresh water and are found on all continents except Antarctica. The suckerfish or pleco are omnivores that will feed on algae, plants, invertebrates, and small fish. They are sometimes referred to as janitor fish among aquarists for their ability to clean tank algae. The strange fish in this video could be a catfish or a pleco, or just a strange fish with similarities to these 2 fish, but being neither of the 2. The people who caught the fish had no clue what it was, and people on social media mentioned it could be a catfish or a pleco. Why don't you let us know in the comments below what you think it is? 16. Rare Bluemouth Pickerel. A retired Virginia soldier caught an 11.5-inch bluemouth chain pickerel from a 14-acre private pond. Chain pickerel can be found in a variety of bodies of water around Virginia. However, they typically have yellow to green scales. Photos of the chain pickerel show the fish with a brilliant blue mouth and scales that alternated between blue, green, and yellow. After inspecting the catch, specialists determined it was an extremely rare chain pickerel with a wild genetic pigment mutation. Chain pickerel are long and narrow freshwater fish that have a dark, nearly black appearance while they're young, and then their scales normally turn yellow-green due to the xanthins in the yellow pigments. Blue pickerel have the rare axanthic mutation, therefore they are blue rather than yellow-green like regular pickerels. 15. Super crab. Crabzilla raged on as scientists attempted to determine whether a 50-foot dark beastie glimpsed in aerial images along the coasts of Whitstable was a monstrous crustacean from the deep or a sand dune. The unsettling image, which dwarfed surrounding fishing boats, was snapped from above in a popular crabbing site, forcing inhabitants to flee, maybe sideways, in fright. Passers-by reported seeing the monster glide sideways into the water while two young boys fished nearby. Others said the image could have been photoshopped, and additional aerial photos suggest this isn't the only beast or unusual occurrence to lurk on these shores. Other creatures such as Bigfoot were apparently seen in the vicinity. I guess it's a strange place where strange creatures like to hang out. 14. Iuk Kanji Jellyfish. Iuk Kanji jellyfish are any of several similar, extremely venomous species of box jellyfish. With an adult size of roughly a cubic centimeter, they are both one of the smallest and most venomous jellyfish in the world. They inhabit the marine waters of Australia and can fire stingers from the tips of their tentacles and inject venom. The stings are so severe, they can cause fatal brain hemorrhages and, on average, send 50 to 100 people to the hospital annually. Unlike most jellyfish, which have stingers only on their tentacles, the Iuk Kanji also has stingers on its bell. The hypothesis is that the feature enables the jellyfish to be more likely to catch its prey of small fish. The symptoms last from hours to weeks, and victims usually require hospitalization. 13. Lancetfish. With gaping fanged jaws, enormous eyes, a sail fin, and long, slithery bodies, lancetfish look like they swam out of prehistoric times. Their dinosaur-worthy scientific name, Alepisaurus, means scaleless lizard. Growing to over 7 feet long, lancetfish are one of the largest deep-sea fishes, swimming to depths of more than a mile below the sea surface. They live mainly in tropical and subtropical waters, but migrate as far north as Alaska's Bering Sea to feed. Lancetfish flesh is watery and gelatinous and not appetizing to humans. However, other large predators like sharks, tuna, and fur seals, and other lancetfish, are not so picky. Lancetfish are notorious cannibals and feed voraciously on many other fish and invertebrates. The cold, dark, mid-water depths where lancetfish hunt is known as the Twilight Zone. 12. Umi Bosu. Umi Bosu is a large, humanoid black figure of a yokai from Japanese folklore. The fabled sea spirit monster has been sighted throughout Japan, but its origin is unknown. It either breaks the ship upon emergence or demands a bucket or barrel from the crew before drowning them. They appear and disappear in the oceans, frequently at night, and are supposed to abruptly materialize on the previously calm sea surface as a giant's black bosu head, destroying ships. They are typically a few meters to many meters long. Umi Bosu's deeds and sightings are not religiously motivated. Victims of this yokai are random and unrelated to any activity or belief. The seamen that were attacked were not of any one faith or creed. They were simply portrayed as pitiable seamen, victims of an attack. In our thumbnail, we can see some sort of alien creature. The position of the creature reminds me of Ultraman, a Japanese superhero of the 70s, who used to fight giant monsters, but this creature is more likely a villain. 11. Demon shark. Researchers in northeastern Australia found a new species of deepwater cat shark using an unorthodox method. Demon sharks, sometimes known as ghost sharks, are a type of deep-sea cat shark from the Coelurosinidae family. Aprosturus is one of the most varied shark genera known to science, with this new species bringing the total to 40. The finding of this shark not only adds a new demon shark to the ocean's deep-sea oddities roster, but it also serves as a reminder that there are several areas to discover new species. 10. Vampire squid. The vampire squid is a terrifying creature that's easy to picture. It is cloaked in an extensive web and has an iridescent dark crimson body, but lives in the endless darkness of the ocean. It transforms, showing rows of vicious-looking cirri when threatened. The scientific name of the creature, Vampiroteuthis infernalis, translates to vampire squid from hell. While the vampire squid's name may sound menacing, this squishy, neutral sea creature is shaped like a football and around the same size. It lives at the bottom of all the world's oceans in a nearly oxygen-free, predator-plentiful environment. 9. Sea serpent. Giant oarfish resemble sea monsters, and because of their size, they have been frequently confused as sea serpents. Giant oarfish have been swimming deep at the bottom of the ocean since the days of the dinosaurs. It is the world's longest bony fish. It can reach a length of 110 feet. The biggest oarfish ever recorded weighed 600 pounds. Whenever these deep-sea fish wash up on shore, they make headlines because they are just gigantic. They are silver with dark markings and swim in an undulating manner. Experts named them after their long, oar-shaped fins. The first few elements of the dorsal fin are long and wispy, resembling a crown, and give rise to yet another common name for this species, the king of herrings. Oarfish have enormous eyes that they use to see in the low light conditions of the deep parts of the open ocean, their preferred habitat. They rarely come to the ocean surface, perhaps only when dying or disoriented, and occasionally wash up on beaches around their home range. They have tiny mouths and no teeth, and feed by filtering small prey from the water, swimming with their mouths open and capturing their food with changed bones that support their gills. 8. Phantom jellyfish. Passengers on cruise ships have claimed rare sightings of huge phantom jellyfish, deep-sea organisms that resemble UFO spaceships with thick ribbons running from their undersides, off the coast of Antarctica. The huge phantom jellyfish, one of the deep sea's largest invertebrate predators, approached the guests while riding in a submersible launched by cruise line operator Viking in early 2022. Researchers determined the jellyfish were approximately 16 feet long, with one stretching to at least 33 feet long. The huge phantom jellyfish were found at depths of 260 feet, 285 feet, and 920 feet. They generally live below 20,000 feet. Recent sightings are transforming scientists' understanding of the mystery of deep-sea creatures. Of course, our understanding of huge phantom jellyfish has traditionally been constrained by a variety of reasons, most notably expense and technology. 7. The frilled shark. Frilled sharks have existed forever and still exist today. They are active predators and may lunge at potential prey, swallowing it whole even if it is quite large. Their normal swimming style, however, is distinctly eel-like, as they swim in a serpentine fashion. The preferred prey of the frilled shark is squid, and they have several rows of long teeth, each with 3 long points, that are perfect for snagging the soft bodies of their prey. Though they specialize in squids, frilled sharks are known to eat a variety of fish and other sharks. Little is known about the population trends of frilled sharks, but they are rarely encountered by humans and are likely naturally rare. In some places, they are accidentally caught as bycatch in fisheries, targeting other species. No fisheries specifically target frilled sharks. Experts, because of their natural rarity and occasional capture in some fisheries, consider the frilled shark to be threatened. 6. Ningan. Crew members of government-operated whale research ships have reported seeing these so-called Ningans on many occasions. They are supposed to be totally white in appearance and measure between 20 and 30 meters in length. Eyewitnesses describe them as having human-like proportions, including legs, arms, and even 5-fingered hands. According to one report, crew members on deck saw what they first thought was a foreign submarine in the distance. When they neared, the irregular shape of the object revealed it was not man-made, but rather alive. The thing swiftly vanished beneath the water. As amazing as it sounds, the existence of the Ningans is considered an urban legend. 5. Viperfish. The viperfish is one of the deep sea's most unusual-looking fish. It is also one of the most well-known and popular species. Its scientific name is Chaliotis sloani, and it's one of the deep's most ferocious predators. The wide mouth and sharp, fang-like teeth of this fish make it easy to identify. These sharp teeth are used by the viperfish to impale its prey by swimming at them at fast speeds. The viperfish's abnormally big teeth aid it in grabbing hold of its food when hunting in the dark. The 2 front fangs, which extend up from the bottom jaw and past the fish's eyes, are particularly striking. When viperfish unhinge their jaws, their lips can open wide enough to swallow prey, while their teeth form a cage to keep the prey from escaping. 4. The ghost shark. The ghost shark's name is appropriate in more ways than one. Not only does the shark look ghastly, but it is also elusive and hard to spot in its natural habitat. It's also known as a chimera or ratfish. Like the chimera from Greek mythology, which had a goat's head, a serpent's tail, and a lion's body, chimeras are weird-looking. The ghost shark's eyes look lifeless, and its skin looks stitched together like Frankenstein's monster or like a decorative pattern on a cowboy boot. The lines that cut through its exterior and the dots that accent those lines might serve a sensory purpose. The males have a sex organ on their heads with hooks and clasps coming out of their midsections that could possibly be for holding onto their female mate during the act. Scientists studying some species of ghost sharks recently found females had 2 uteruses and 2 sets of ovaries. They also found those females were storing sperm in their reproductive tract for later. The experts suggested they may be holding onto the sperm for up to 3 years, as such a period has been observed in another type of shark, the bamboo shark. Most sharks have conveyor belt rows of teeth, but ghost sharks have non-replaceable tooth plates composed of dense minerals and an upper jaw that is fused to their skull. It's the difference between sharp teeth that can take on big prey and a flat surface that crushes smaller prey. 3. The Kusk Eel. Ophidiidae is a family of marine bony fish in the Ophidiiformes order that includes Kusk eels. The scientific term ophis comes from the Greek word for snake and refers to their eel-like appearance. True eels, on the other hand, separated from other ray-finned fish during the Jurassic period. Kusk eels are found in temperate and tropical oceans around the world. They reside along the seafloor, ranging from shallow water to the Hadal zone. One species was discovered near the bottom of the Puerto Rico Trench, making it the deepest known fish at 27,460 feet. Kusk eels are mainly solitary creatures. However, some species live with tubeworm groups. When not foraging, Kusk eels prefer to be hidden in muddy bottoms, sinkholes, or larger structures they can hide in or around. Kusk eels feed primarily at night, preying on insects, crustaceans, and other small bottom-dwelling fish. 2. Rare 12-feet sailfish. Karachi fishermen accidentally caught a massive Indo-Pacific sailfish, also known as the Gora fish among locals. The fish was approximately 12 feet long and appeared to have been captured by coincidence. The fishermen returned the fish back into the sea after catching it. Even though the Indo-Pacific sailfish is not an endangered species, in 2021, fishermen collected 2,200 tons of Indo-Pacific sailfish, but the meat is neither edible nor popular in Pakistan. 1. Mega lobster carrying 80,000 eggs. What could be more exciting than catching a large lobster? How about catching a giant lobster carrying around 80,000 eggs? That's exactly what happened to Jacob Knowles, a fisherman from Maine. Knowles released her back into the ocean, after providing her with a complimentary snack by inserting a fish inside her huge claw. All the small babies under her tail were unharmed because of his kindness and understanding of proper fishing practices. After the eggs hatch, it is a difficult path to adulthood. In fact, it is predicted that only 2 out of every 50,000 eggs survive long enough to be legally caught. Because it is unlawful to collect pregnant lobsters in Maine owing to overfishing and declining population numbers, fishermen instead cut little notches in their tails and return them to the ocean. Fishermen like Knowles are helping to conserve these amazing species for future generations by giving them notches and reintroducing them into their natural habitats. Most of these creatures were scary, but that viperfish scared me the most. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. Thank you for watching and see you next time.